Hey, this is Seth at Music Teachers Muse. Tune in Fridays PST at midnight for new episodes. See you there. Welcome back. Today we're talking about writing music with students. You don't have to teach them music that already exists. So let's jump into why this is a good thing. First off, it's perfect for students who have no idea what they want to work on, what they like, what they're inspired by. You will run into this. I didn't run into it until I started working for Guitar Center, coming up on 10 years ago this summer. I'd never experienced this before because obviously this is the 21st century now. We're in a different time. When I started playing guitar 28 years ago. So, we had to buy physical albums. We knew what inspired us. We knew exactly why we wanted to start playing music. Every musician's got a story like this. I knew the moment I wanted to become this, or this is what I want to do with my life, because I saw Kiss or the Beatles or Led Zeppelin on TV, or I heard this one song and it changed my whole life. But kids these days, some of them still have those experiences, but it's a whole lot less. So it's great for the students who just sit there, and after a couple of minutes, you can't ask them anymore because they start to get irritated because you're kind of badgering them at that point. So if it comes down to they don't have a clue what they like, you can always give them suggestions on stuff to check out, but quite literally, it is something you're gonna run into. A lot of times they start playing guitar or whatever instrument it is because somebody in their family plays and it looks cool, or it's just something cool to do. It's not that they think it's uncool, but it just literally still makes me question this. I've never asked a student this, but sometimes I want to say, why are you here? But it is a thing. So it is a great thing for students who fit that profile. And you're going to have a decent amount of them, especially the younger kids. They have a hard enough time remembering the names of the songs and the artists that they like, even when they can remember that. So, second part of this is it's fun. It's fun for you and the student. You can come up with cool song titles. I've never written lyrics for the student before, but you can come up with all kinds of things that make it interesting. If they even know what style they're into, so you get a kid who's into metal or rock or funk or blues or whatever it might be. Or one kid, he was learning a bunch of jazzy chords like major and minor sevens and dominant sevens and ninths and things of that nature. I found out that just teaching him how to play a progression I wrote out, it actually sounded really authentically jazzy. So, I mean, you can tell I'm a jazz guy, right? Not. But it reminds me of open counseling at MI one time. I had my all-over print Eddie Iron Maiden shirt in my gym over here. And Dan Gilbert says, "You're a jazz guy, right?" I'm like, he's like, "I'm just kidding," because I should have known that. But fun memory there. But it's literally something you can have fun and be creative with, because usually being creative is a fun thing anyway. So just go with it. Come up with a cool title, as long as it's appropriate. And, just, you kind of have to wing it at that point. But the main thing is, as to all these lessons I'm teaching about how to do all the non-musical things that you have to learn how to do that don't have anything to do with your musical skill or ability, is that your students learn from you and they have fun and they enjoy what they're learning. So this is only going to benefit that. Next point is it helps them understand rhythms, how chords work together. It's, like you pick a key, you pick a chord or two, like asking them, say, what's your favorite chord that we've learned so far? Or do you like the sound of this chord or do you not like the sound of that chord? And you just keep going until they say, yeah, I like that one. And then you can just build something off of that. It teaches them how to count rhythms and ties and all the rhythmic value things. And it helps them to just be able to have fun. And again, it's something that you don't have to have a recording of because you're doing it on the fly. And if you've been playing for any length of time, this shouldn't be that difficult for you, especially if you've been musically trained, where you know how to understand counting rhythms and things of that nature. I mean, I literally didn't know much about that until so I actually went to music school. I could count to 4, but if you'd asked me to count triplets or anything like that, I wouldn't have had a clue what you were talking about. It's also great for performances and recitals, because parents really like that their kids are being creative. It's a cool advertisement. Not that I've ever actually done it to this extent, but literally, it's cool to say, we worked on this piece and we wrote this piece of music together. We're going to perform it live for the first time in front of everybody. That's a really cool advertisement. It also is a good advertisement for you as a teacher, because you're capable of doing that with a student. And chances are you're going to be the one writing most of the music, but they're going to give you input, and it's going to be cool, and it's going to be a very cool thing that they can have a video of later on that they can look back on when they're older, or even a year from then, as something really cool that you helped them accomplish. So that's a really cool teacher moment to be able to have. It's also great for students who want to learn how to write songs, because how else are you supposed to do that if you don't just start writing something? I mean, everybody who I've heard talk about writing songs are just write and write and write, because your songs will just get better the more music that you write in the first place. You just have to do it a lot. And admittedly, I haven't written a whole lot of music in my time, but it's just something it's just good to do, because you probably won't get too many students who are into that. Maybe the singer-songwriter types. I don't have any currently who are working on writing anything, but it's just a great thing for students who want to learn how to write songs. And again, they can learn how to sing a melody over a chord so it matches up, and harmonization and all that sort of thing. I mean, that all goes together. So there's a lot of cool things that can come out of that. So let's just run down of the benefits again real quick on the recap. So for one, the first thing, it's great for students who don't know what they want to work on, which you'll have a lot of. It's like, oh, well, we'll just write some cool music, man. Let's do a rock tune, or let's do a funk tune, or an acoustic song with some strumming chords, cowboy open chords, whatever it may be. It's a great way to combat not having to use a book, which is not a bad thing, but it's also just, you don't sit there trying to pull something out of them that they really can't answer. And it makes it fun. And the next thing is, it's fun, coming up with song titles and themes and melodies or whatever it may be. It's just something fun, creative for the student. The parents love it. It can be tailored to whatever style they're into. And the parents also love that their kids are being creative. And the last two, it looks great at a recital that you can actually have a video or recording of, even if it's nothing super special. It's like you get to advertise that the student helped you write this song that they're going to play in front of an audience. And performances and recitals are a big deal. Most parents want to see their kids perform at some point when they've been paying for lessons for a long time. It's just a thing. A lot of kids are not into it, but when they are, it's great. Just feed that as much as you can. It's a really cool thing. And then the last one, it's just great for students who want to learn to write songs, to where they can learn how to put rhythms and chords and rhythms to chords, and they can learn about harmonization, singing this note over this chord, or if they're playing a melody over a chord progression on their guitar, chord tone soloing, whatever it may be. It all ties into teaching them just how to write songs that they can be happy with, or learn the craft of whatever kind of songs they eventually want to write. So there's really nothing but perks to this, and it keeps it much more interesting than playing freaking Shook Me All Night Long or Sweet Home Alabama for the 17,000th time. Even though those are money earners, it's definitely a fresh thing that makes it a lot more fun for you as well. So thanks for tuning in and watching. Please hit the bell for new videos. Subscribe, like, share. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Check out our sponsors in the description below. And we will see you next week.